right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thrashcast. And here we are at episode, I believe, 83. Is that correct, fellas?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
I don't know. I'll let Ken answer.
83.
83.
I did a bit of homework just to check it out. Anyways, as usual, I want to thank my cohorts for co-hosting with me here with Billy and Ken. How are you guys doing this evening?
Oh, good.
Dude. All ready for Slayer.
Great. Yes, that's right. And yes, we will be talking about this bad boy. So divine intervention. So some good stuff there coming up. Before we get into that, though, just a quick housekeeping. Where can you find us? As usual, on YouTube, just type in Thrashcast. We're part of the horror metal sounds kind of umbrella, which is awesome. Ken, and you can find us at horror metal sounds at Keng.2468, but really just type in horror metal sounds, will come up, Thrashcast will come up, and we're hit over 12,000 subscribers now, correct? Yeah, no, that's awesome. So there's a lot of videos there. I think
Jim,
if I'm looking, 301.
Jim, can I just stop you for a sec? I don't want to interrupt the start of the show.
Yeah, no
I just wanted to bring up something quick here. And it's not a big deal, but it bothered me for a while. And I know Billy said just let it roll off your back. But Billy mentioned that someone on Instagram was complaining about our destruction video, saying that we were inflating we're trying to inflate the views. I wasn't doing that. Maybe I didn't clarify at the time, but the stats I gave were correct stats. I wasn't saying that Thrashcast is super high. I was saying that what Thrashcast is under the Horror Metal Sounds banner. And Thrashcast does contribute greatly to the views and to the subs. I'm not denying that. I just wanted to make that distinction in case people were saying that.
Don't let it bother you, Ken.
I know, Bill. You're right.
You're giving in to the trolls. Like, just keep it. Don't even bring it up. It's silly. You're wasting your time on people that don't deserve it.
And you know what? I got the horror metal sounds.
He won. Like, why do you bother?
That's true.
It's trying. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And we've got you just have to hit the information on horror metal sounds, and it comes right up. Absolutely. There's 301 videos on there, a lot of Thrashcast, lot of stuff. And in all fairness, Ken, you've been running this since 2013, correct?
Yeah. 2013.
Yeah. So, no, that's awesome. So you can find us there, or you can also find us on Rumble, and you can also find us on TikTok and Spotify. We are on Spotify as well. So check us out and check out our other videos on there. All kinds of content. So you're going to hit an album you definitely like. So I think it's awesome. So we usually start off with just a quick kind of news and what are you spinning? Billy, what do you got for us?
So one news item, I don't have much on news, but I did come across this yesterday. I thought it was pretty cool. So the technical death metal band from Montreal, Beyond Creation, released a new track this week. It's really cool. It's called Reverence. It's just one song, but it's like a technical death metal masterpiece. Like it's all jazzy. Like they alternate between jazzy stuff and like pure, like all out death metal. So if that's your kind of thing, technical metal and death metal, check that new track out. It's pretty cool. And then a few things I picked up this past week. We covered Whiplash on the show a while back, but this time I got
nice.
Ticket to Mayhem.
Oh yeah,
cool. Great record.
What we did? Power and what was it? Power
and Pain.
Yeah, Power and Pain. Yeah, the first one. This is second, I think.
Yeah.
And then I finally got my hands on something I've been looking for forever. We always say UK thrash is underrated. To me, this is a particular band that's underrated from the 80s. So this is Hydra Vein, Rather Death and False Faith. It's quite a mouthful. But from 88, like I love this record. And then the follow-up record, After the Dream, like from 1989.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you guys don't know this UK thrash band, I highly recommend checking them out. Like, yeah, the first album's got some Slayer influence. But just really good, solid thrash. pretty hooky songs. It's catchy. It's good stuff. And then I was at a record store and I couldn't resist myself. I already have the OG CD and the vinyl, but
Mhm.
I
Oh,
came across the
Oh, nice.
Toxic cassette. Like this place had like all these old thrash cassettes, and they had like demos, like the original demos that were released by bands before. Like they had the original Atrophy demo before the first album even came out, and like these things are like a gold mine. Like Jim, I know you've got a lot of
yeah,
cassettes. You should sell like they're going off. This wasn't $70, but a lot of them are selling for like 50 to $70, and
yeah.
Oh, guaranteed.
um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's like a refresh demand for these original cassettes. So
Where did you buy that from, Billy? What store?
oh, that was the that place in Hamilton
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Hamilton.
I
Okay,
was
so you did
telling you
go.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Cool.
um yeah, that was cool. The store is pretty cool. It's
Okay.
called Morning Star Records,
Okay.
but it's way out of nowhere, right? You can check them out on Facebook, but they share a place with it's like a house. And like
Okay.
half the house is a tattoo parlor, and the
Oh,
other half is like a record store. Uh, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I'll be going like probably once a month. So Ken, if you want to go, let me know.
yeah. I'll definitely join you next time for
We
sure.
could go. But yeah, big they have like good like used selections because
Nice.
nowadays most stores, if you can find metal, you don't find a lot of used, or
Yeah.
vice versa. It's used but not new. This guy has like all of it, and he really knows his metal. And so like I bought everything from like Alcatraz and Black Sabbath to Dying Fetus and Voivod. I mean,
Nice.
Flotsam and Jetsam, and
Oh,
like I
nice.
think I bought like 10 albums.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
so
What Alcatraz album you get?
I don't remember. I haven't even like listened to it, or I mean, I bought like all those.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten through. Like I got through two of them so far.
Cool.
So, but yeah,
Wicked.
check out those guys if you're in the city, or it's a bit of a trip though, unfortunately,
Yeah,
to
the Hamilton. Yeah.
Hamilton. But there is this trail, like the place where that is. I didn't know that. Like along the, I think it's Main Street or Ottawa Street, for anyone who knows the area. And there were like six vinyl stores, all like within a
Yeah.
couple blocks of each other.
They have a lot of used record shops there.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah. I mean, that was not, they have small metal collections in
no,
most of them, but if you're going to
but
make a
still.
day trip out of it, you can kind of get to see a lot of places. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's it for
Cool.
me.
Ken, what have you got?
I don't really have all that much this week, with the
No.
exception of on Sunday, for Horror Metal Sounds, I covered the Belfiger Incantation Hate and Narcotic Wasteland show, which was a really good time. I'm a really big fan of death metal, of course, like as you guys. So to me, I kind of felt that Incantation stole the show. I've seen them a bunch of times. They're always great live.
Hmm.
They're it's never a dull show when they play. They played a lot of classics, so it was good. I'm not a big Belfiger fan. If you're into kind of like that kind of death black metal
Hmm.
kind of, I don't know, atmospheric music, it was okay. I found it kind of droning and boring after a while.
How long
Sorry,
did they play for?
they played about an hour.
Yeah, that's
They
about the
played,
norm now, right? Like 50
yes, the
minutes
norm.
to an
Yeah, yeah,
hour
pretty
for the
much. They
headline.
played 12 songs altogether, so it was okay. Hate wasn't bad. I'm not really familiar with Hate all that much. This is not they're mostly death metal. They were pretty solid band. Narcotic Wasteland, that's Wade Toller's band, who used to be in Nile, one of the guitarists in Nile.
Hmm.
They weren't bad too. They're pretty decent. I know Jim, you were asking about them earlier
Yeah.
in the week. They're pretty solid. I didn't mind them. They didn't get a lot of good reaction from the crowd, which maybe they're not aware of their stuff, but
Hmm.
I looked them up and they have like maybe 2 to 3 albums out. So, but it was all right. I mean, the show overall was great. My only beef for me was that it's just everything was so damn expensive. $50
Yeah.
a shirt. I actually wanted to buy an Incantation shirt. It was $50.
Yeah.
It was insane. I was like, wow. And I'm all for supporting John. John McEntee. I mean, he's a really nice guy, and I had dinner with him and a few with Jason and Kim. We had a really nice time. I had a good time. He's a really cool dude. But yeah, like holy, the prices on stuff was just
Yeah.
insane. But there was a lot of people there. I noticed they gave a so John gave a shout out to what's his name from Slaughter, Dave Houston, which is cool. Dave was there, and John was saying, I think probably to show that Dave was one of his idols growing up. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, he did a whole video on it about him getting a chance to meet him.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
I
he
watched
was.
it.
Yeah, he was really elated about meeting him. Nick Sages was there as well. I mean, so yeah, there was a lot of people that you might know were there. But I had a good time. It was sold out. Like it was a really jam packed
Oh, it
show.
was sold out, yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it was sold out, but I mean, it was jam packed. There
Yeah,
was,
which is good for a Sunday night.
yeah, exactly. But it's good death metal, I guess, if you're into that, and if you're into more like black, kind of the black metal stuff, then you're getting the best of both worlds. At least I still have to write my review for the show, but
Cool.
it was a good time. I had a good time. And that's pretty much all I had this week.
Oh, wicked. Well, I don't really have much either. I mean, I just have what did I pick up this week? Well, I picked up this reissue of Decapitated,
Good one.
the Negation from 2004. I mean, look at these guys on the back. They're pretty angry. Um, everybody knows Decapitation, great Decapitated, great death metal band. So all good there. It's pretty cool. It was missing this one, and it was there at an actual record store, so I picked that up. And I also picked up. I decided to get a live Motorhead live at Montreux Jazz Festival. It's pretty cool. It's a double CD, kind of cool. Yeah, they've been putting out a lot of stuff lately, back stuff and missing tracks and new tracks they found and all kinds of live recordings. And I don't know if I put this on, if I had this on our last one, but I did pick up the latest Mayhem album.
I think you mentioned it.
Okay, I might have. Liturgy of Death, wicked album. Kind of like if you're just dipping your toe into the black metal scene, this is a good one to start with because it's not as it's not as black metal as the early obviously the early Mayhem. It's actually really I think it's really awesome, really listenable, and just I've got about 5 of their albums from about 95 up or 97 up. I can't remember, but this one here's really good listen. So
yeah,
definitely pick that up. So, and that's all I got, guys. I don't have anything else. Kind of a slower week for me. Not really much coming, just snow. We got tons of snow.
No. The theme of the day.
Exactly. So we'll head right into our questions then for the album. So obviously we're going to be doing Slayer, Divine Intervention, 1994 release. This album is really cool. I wanted to do it. I mean, we've done almost all the Slayer except for I think the first one, Show No Mercy. So we've got plans to do that one in the future. And this is this one here is a pretty cool one. Like, I don't know if you'd consider it modern Slayer. I guess a lot of people kind of do. Anything prior to, I guess, Seasons would be considered old school Slayer. And it was with the lineup change in it. So, I guess that's it. The 6th album, 1994. So some pretty kind of neat story behind this album. And we'll get into it with the questions here because this album took a while to get this album out because of all the censor problems they had with the record company. And I mean, that's no difference for Slayer at all times, but I think the original album art of the on the inside cover, they've got the guy who actually carved Slayer into his arm. And then on the back, there's the one with the person who has it on their back. And apparently that is actually true. So it was actually done by a fan. So, those were supposed to be the original cover of the album. But this album cover here, which I really like, with the sort of Slayerish pentagram, Ken, the artist is Wes Ben Scooter. He's done a lot of heavy metal, done a lot of death metal and stuff. What do you think of the cover art on this album?
Well, when I first saw it, I liked it.
Yeah,
His work has gotten better over time. It was still pretty decent. I don't know. For me, anything that has like skull artwork on it and like demonic looking bones, I'm in. I'm
yeah,
totally in. So when I bought this when it came out, I mean, I was totally like, oh, I gotta have that, even though I knew who Slayer was. But automatically, I had to have that album.
yeah.
But Wes is a really good artist. I mean, he painted this cover, he painted Undisputed Attitude and Live Intrusion. So he's very very known to Slayer fans.
Hmm.
I'm a huge fan. He has, as you mentioned, Jim, carved out a great legacy for doing band art,
Hmm.
and he's did a lot of stuff over the years. I mean, like Autopsy, Cali Decapitation, Creator, Phantom,
Creator, Phantom
yeah,
Antichrist. Yeah,
Sinister, Deceased, Falsy. Like this dude is awesome art, awesome
yeah.
artist. And if you go to his website, you can actually, he's got his short films posted on there. He's been making short films since like 2008. And I watched this one called Hold Your Fire, and it's like a war torn landscape, and it looks like a painting. Like he films exactly like a dreamy, dark, dreary painting. It's amazing.
Hmm.
You guys should go watch it if you ever have a chance. It's not very long. It's like 8 minutes in total. Really, really good stuff. And he did another short film for Cattle Decapitation that's about 11 minutes long in 2019, which is a real gut puncher. It's gory as hell. Great, great
Well,
stuff.
I mean, he's done like almost all their album
I
artwork.
think he's on other album
Yeah,
art.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah. It's like
Um,
12 listed.
and he's also like branched out. He's doing like work for Arrow Video,
Hmm.
Synapse Films. He's doing Blu-ray covers. He did one for The Church for Severin Films, which is one of my favorite Italian horror movies. So the guy, he's incredible. He's self-taught. He paints mostly in acrylics. And from what I know of him and what I've read, he's like a lifelong horror and heavy metal fan. So this kind
Yeah,
of stuff for him for 30 years is kind of his forte.
and
But he's
he's done like Autopsy, the Bloodbath one for Nightmares Made Flesh, which is wicked. And he did the Black Sabbath for the Dio years, so it's
yeah.
only just kind of a logo-ish kind of setup, but still, I mean that's a pretty big thing to do. Oh, that's a wicked one. Yeah,
Yeah, this is Ritual Carnage. I love this cover.
nice.
It's one of my favorites. And of course, as we mentioned, the Autopsy, which I also
Yeah.
absolutely love.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah, I
just
love it
got it.
too. It's such a I love his palette. He has a very limited use of a palette with like warm and cool colors. And
Yeah.
he's really good at doing this. It's so great. He's a really, really good artist.
And he did do an incantation one too for Mortal Throne of Nazarene. So that's
Yes, he
kind of
did.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go through all his list, but but you're
Yeah.
right, Jim. It's pretty extensive. Like he's did a lot of work. We're talking 30 years here, right?
Yeah.
But he's
Billy,
great.
what's your thoughts on the Slayer cover? And obviously you own probably a lot of his other work.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess, and certainly this is not reflective of the artist. Like, I just don't have a strong feeling either way. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. Like, I guess
Sure.
it's tough, right? You're coming off of like some of the most legendary album covers in that Slayer discography that's
Yeah, true.
before it, right? And so it's just a
Mhm.
matter of preference. Like, I would have preferred them to continue that look and feel. But then that's me living in the past, I guess. So, uh, like, we talked about like South of Heaven and Rain and Blood and Hell Awaits. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I always like that style. So for me, this is a pretty big difference. It's obviously the classic Slayer pentagram logo reimagined. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, I guess they can't do the same thing forever. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it was never like a favorite of mine. And again, the artist has done lots of good work, so it's not an artist thing. Yeah, I just think it's a bit dull compared to what was before it.
Wicked.
Fair point.
So Billy, what's your thoughts on the biggest question here with Paul Bostaff's drumming on this album?
Yeah, I mean, I think Paul's a good like thrash drummer, no doubt about that. He's got like excellent bass, double bass. He's got the stamina to go through all these. I mean, he's played with Testament, Forbidden, and obviously Slayer for a long time. A very capable drummer. And I like his drumming on Divine Intervention. There's some interesting like drum parts throughout. But I mean, I guess the one thing I would say is when I look back at the old Slayer songs, like Dave Lombardo, some of the best parts of the
Yeah.
songs are those
He's
drum parts.
drumming.
And
Yeah,
like I don't feel Paul ever gets to that level where I say, "Oh, the best part of that song is Paul's drumming."
Hmm.
Although, like he has some really good parts, so no doubt
Hmm.
about that. But he's never the leader of the song like Dave tended to be at times. So I guess
sure.
that's that. But I don't know. Maybe he's the replacement. Maybe the band didn't give him much free reign to do some of those things, but like that sudden double bass in like Angel of Death is
Yeah.
like the best part of the song. Like there's all kinds of things like that where the drum part is literally the best part of the song. I don't see we don't get that here, but again, he's a great drummer and he does a big job, and I've seen him live many times. He's very good live, so yeah, I mean, when you think about it, no one's going to replace Dave. But yeah, he's as good as you're probably going to get.
Cool. And Ken, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's I fall more into Billy's camp. He's a
Yeah.
serviceable and good drummer.
Hmm.
Yeah, he'll never replace Dave Lombardo. I mean,
No.
let's be honest here. That guy's a legend, and not only that, but Dave is a founding member of the band, so
Right.
he had a very integral say in how the band did stuff back in the day.
Hmm.
So Paul comes in, and I think to Billy's point, yeah, Paul comes in and yeah, he does his thing, but obviously whenever you replace a founding member with a new member, they don't get that opportunity to be a full like member of the band. I mean,
Hmm.
Metallica's a great example.
Yeah. Yeah.
He never got that opportunity, even though he's a great bassist in his own right. So yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Paul's great here. The opening song, "Killing Fields," is great. I think there's a number of songs where he sounds great, but yeah, he doesn't lead the charge like what Dave did. I mean, let's be honest. But
Yeah.
he's got a great resume and he's a
Yeah.
solid drummer. You know.
Absolutely. I agree with both you guys. So, Ken, we'll stick with you. Kerry King's always criticized the mix on this album. Do you think that a remix is in order? What's your thoughts?
Well, sure, it could help, but I don't
Hmm.
think they need to go back and do it. Like if you've already like, it's like what Billy was saying earlier, living in the past, man.
Yeah.
Like live in the future. Like it's done. You did it. There's no reason to go back. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a cash grab. Oh, we can make more money, but they don't need to do it. Like the album stands for itself. Like I read a lot about Kerry King. He was complaining. He criticized the mix. He hated
Yeah.
it. Um, but I guess it sounds like there was a lot of like a lot of studio
Interference.
intervention
Yeah.
from the label and all that. So I can understand where he's coming from as an artist, just from the artist perspective, that it may not be to his liking.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I since we were decided to do this album, I've been listening to it for quite a bit.
Yeah, me too.
It doesn't bother me. I'm okay with it. Like I
Yeah.
don't really go, oh, this could sound better here, this could sound better there. I mean, yeah, it's not a perfect record by any means, but it's still a solid Slayer record made in 1994 when a lot of bands weren't even making this kind of music. I mean, Metallica wasn't making this stuff anymore.
No, that's true.
I mean, so the fact that Slayer kind of stuck to their guns, that's got to stand for something. And it's not like, let's put it this way, it's not far off from the classic albums. It's pretty close. I don't know. There's a lot to like in this album. That's what I'll say.
Well, I think you answered my next question too, which was great because that was going to be my next one. Like, I agree with you 100%. And the album got held up so long due to interference from the record company and they wanted a hit song. Like, give me a
Yeah,
break.
yeah, yeah.
Slayer with a hit song. Like, what hits radio friendly song? You're not going to get a radio friendly song. But
No.
Billy, your thoughts on remix? Yes or no? I mean, they'll probably come out with some sort of box set when the anniversary comes up. But what are your thoughts on the mix? Like, do you think there should be a remix? And what do you think about all the interference that happened on this release? But I guess it's safe to say it happens almost on every Slayer release.
Yeah, no, like the yeah, it's one of my least favorite sounding like production for a Slayer
Mm-hmm.
album. Like I definitely find it sounds muffled, it sounds a bit dirty when I listen to it. So I mean, could a remix? Yeah, like it depends. I mean, Slayer right now, I don't think we'll get it anytime soon. They're still on. They've done the 40th anniversary box set of Show No Mercy in
Yeah,
May. Hell Awaits comes out. So they're obviously working their way through the catalog. So we probably got like a good like 10, 12, 15 years before they
true.
get to this if they do it. So so be it. And like I don't know if they'll even go that far, right? Like I don't think sales of this was as good as their classic albums, but maybe I'm wrong. So um but yeah, I mean, I guess nothing new, like record labels trying to tame like metal bands. And so, yeah, I mean, they kind of stuck to their guns on this record. But like I always thought they sort of, whether it's the record label or it's them, they did sort of trend jump on Diabolus and Musica, right? Like that's
Yeah,
very
Yeah,
new metal. Right,
that's
that's
true.
not traditional Slayer sticking to their guns. So either they
No.
just said, "Hey, I like the new metal scene, and I'm going to do an album that sounds like that," or the record label's pushing them because that's what was selling. I don't know, but like, so I don't think I could say Slayer deserves like, oh, they always stuck to their guns and went with their own thing. Because, I mean, but then again, maybe they did. Maybe they wanted to do that new metal sound. Uh,
yeah.
so I don't know.
Could
Like,
be.
it's could be. So.
And I mean, they released Decade of Aggression in between the two albums because
Yes.
they were running into so much interference that they wanted to get something out there. But interesting enough, sales wise, this went gold in Canada and the U.S. and so did
Hmm.
Season. So you know, it still was that whole wave of what happened with Seasons and sort of the commercialism. I think from Seasons was still going on. That live album
That
still.
makes sense.
I
Yeah,
got
I
it on
mean, probably
CD and
everyone
cassette.
who bought Seasons probably bought it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That
exactly.
makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So I think maybe I'd like a mix, and I'd like something maybe a couple extras put on it. I'm an extras guy, but as long as it's well thought out live or something that we haven't heard before, I think that would be pretty good. And they're really good with their box sets. Billy, you've got a few of them,
Yeah.
you know, and they're so cool that they put so much neat stuff on there and make it a kind of more of a celebration thing. So, anyways, some good conversation there, guys. So we'll just jump right into the album and go right into the tracks. Ken, why don't you start us off with track number one, Killing Fields?
Yeah, this I like this song. It starts off really intense, I think. And this is kind of the song that where Tom gets to show off a little bit of his prowess as a lyricist. You're talking about historical genocide, and it's rooted in Cambodia. It sort of focuses on the atrocities committed by the Khmer Rouge and the regime in Cambodia at the time. This is like in the late 70s. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. It's not entirely a political song, but certainly maybe it meant something to Tom. It's a short banger. It's got a really nice opening drum track. I like that a lot. There's a lot of really nice buzzsaw riff for me that starts it off here. And it's got that mid pace, like it's a mid pace track, but then it kind of builds up close to the 2 minute mark. And then the drumming really takes over, which is, I think this is one song where I took notice of the drumming is pretty decent, and the solo is not bad at 319. But yeah, it's a pretty solid song as an opener.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Billy, what's your thoughts on the Killing Fields starting this album off?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a strong song, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But if I said to you these songs, what do they have in common? War Ensemble,
Mm-hmm.
South of Heaven,
Mm-hmm.
Angel of Death, and Hell Awaits.
Yeah.
They're the openers of the last couple albums.
Fair enough.
So,
Yeah.
like,
True.
I guess this is just a perfect representation of how I feel about this album. Like, I like the album, and I liked it when Jim picked it, and I've been listening to it, and I liked it way more than I remember. It's just to me, there's like all these songs have like a slight step down
Yeah.
from like everything before it, but it's still incredibly good. And like compared to what all the other thrash bands were doing at the time, I think it's really good. So yeah, and again, I think it's a great song. Is it the legendary opener that appeared on almost every Slayer song? Probably not. Like this is never going to be like all those other songs are in the set list all the time. This is
Yeah.
not going to be a staple of the set list. Uh,
No. I mean, I think it's a great way to start this album. But yeah, I mean, the last album had War Ensemble as its first track, which
Yeah,
is
it's a killer
just,
song.
yeah, you can't beat that. So you know, we're kind of, but I thought when I wanted to do this album, I thought to myself, geez, we just never really talk about sort of this sort of, I consider this part of the modern era of Slayer, anything at post season. So, but this one, and maybe even God Hates Us All is some of the better ones in the earlier, in the earlier latter portion of Slayer's discography. Diabolus would be probably my weakest one out of all of them, but yeah, this song's pretty cool. I mean, it's got that pounding drum intro, which I thought was pretty cool because it almost like they let Paul have a little bit of the reins there. It just at 102, the song kind of slows into a slow chug, and then at 116, you got that really cool riff. I mean, it's a minute and a half almost before Tom's vocals even cut in. So, and I find his vocals are awesome on this. It's just at 249, you got that wicked faster chug, and it's got a really noticeable bass line throughout the song. I think it's a pretty good way to start the album. I really like it. Billy, we'll continue with you with "Sex, Murder, and Art," the number 2 song.
yeah, I mean, it's not a bad song. I mean, it's somewhat one-dimensional compared to some of the other stuff that's on here, but I mean, it's pretty intense, so
Mhm.
that's pretty cool. It's a little bit of punk influence. The
Mhm.
heavy double bass drumming kicks it off, and I mean, to be honest, there's not a lot here. Like it's under 2 minutes, so there's only so much they could go. But like I like I think the best part is like around the minute and a half mark. Like it gets
Yeah,
slower and heavier, and this part has some really cool hooks that are memorable, and especially Tom's vocal delivery. So yeah, I mean, I think again, it's a solid track, and it's just under 2 minutes. There's not a lot here, but it's not bad.
yeah, I think I agree with you 100%. I had it at 128 for that. It's kind of the slower Slayer thrash chug
Yeah.
that lights up, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Ken, what's your thoughts on 3 of your favorite things: sex, murder, and art?
Yeah, that's true.
Ken's
Well,
like, thanks, Jimmy.
that's okay. That's okay. I'm open to that. Well, again, Tom takes the reins with the lyrics, so it's interesting at this point in time with him writing lyrics for the band. It's more of a gratuitous song about the whole possible like reflection on the psychological horror, like with a serial killer. So that, I mean, I don't mind it, but I agree with Billy. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of meat on the bones.
Mhm.
What is there is pretty decent. It's under 2 minutes. It's short. It's fast. It gets straight to the point. The lyrics
Right.
are very, very nasty. It doesn't specifically say it's about Jeffrey Dahmer, but it's interpretive. If
Mhm.
you read them a few times, you can sort of get that. Their fixation on Jeffrey Dahmer in the 90s is pretty funny, but I
Mhm.
guess this is about the time that Dahmer was like big in the news. So
Yeah.
on the topical side, but it's an okay song.
No, I agree with you guys. It's pretty cool. I love the fact it's short though, because then it's kind of like reminiscent of some of the early stuff in the length of it. I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Ken, take us through fictional reality. That's where I like to live.
This is actually not a bad song. I mean, it's got a decent riff, the main riff. The chorus is kind of catchy.
Mhm.
I mean, the song, even though written in '94, it's very relevant to today's standards. You're talking about how the impact of, like, the theme is very clear. Like the song attacks governments, attacks media, institutions that distort the truth at the public's expense. So it's
Mhm.
kind of cool. It's sort of, you can relate that to today. I think it's an all right song. I don't mind it. It doesn't blow me away.
Mhm.
But I think it's got enough. There's got enough going on there that I do like it. Like I like that little bit castrate society. This has a little bit of Seasons in the Abyss vibe.
Mhm.
I thought this kind of was kind of harking back to that a little bit. I could
Big
see this
time.
being like a B side on Seasons for some reason, but I think
Yep.
it's okay. It's an okay song.
No, that's a good point. I had that in my notes too, that it was like a kind of maybe a song, not necessarily left over, but left off of Seasons, or they kept with that vein with that song, because the first two are not at all like that. So I thought
Yeah,
that was a pretty good comparison. Yeah, that's cool. You brought that up. I find it's a bit sludgy. I think it's a really good song. Billy, what's your thoughts on fictional reality?
Yeah, I like it. Maybe a bit more than Ken. Like I think it has some cool tempo dynamics, and I think Tom sounds fantastic on this song.
Hmm.
Like his delivery's aggressive and angry, but he's so catchy. Like his vocals, like it really memorable to me. And
Hmm.
then yeah, like my notes have the same thing. Like at around 135 to 140, it really slows down, and this sounds like a total leftover part from
yeah.
Seasons in the Abyss. Not necessarily a negative
No.
leftover.
No.
It just sounds like that era. But yeah,
Mm.
then it gets more aggressive, like closer to the 3 minute mark. I think it's got a good chorus, like a catchy chorus. Yeah, I think it again. I think it's pretty good. Like I like it.
Yeah, cool. So number four here, we're heading into Ditto Head, which is one of my favorite songs on the album. Love this song, and I mean, I guess if you're gonna pick classics off of this, I think probably this would probably be considered maybe one of the classics off it, regardless of what we think of it. I think it's a lot of people do recognize this song, but I love the fact that it's nice and fast. It's got a pretty cool, crossover punk vibe. It's got that classic Slayer sound to me. At 50 seconds, that riff is just amazing. I think this one I would consider probably one of two or maybe three of the drum tracks on the album. Still nothing like old school Slayer, but still pretty noticeable. And at 115, you got a really fast and awesome solo. Billy, what's your thoughts on Ditto Head?
Yeah, no, I like it. Like it rips kind of out of the gate. I think it's one of the, I've heard it like live many times. It tends to be, it's not like Angel of Death staple where they'll
No.
play it every time, but it does come into the set list a fair amount. Yeah, I think it has some punk influences. Again, I think I like Tom here. I like his singing. You kind of hit on it, like that riff. I have it at 48 seconds, but it's probably the
Yeah,
best part of the song.
Yeah.
Like the lead
I would
kicks in
agree.
at like, yeah, 115. Like Tom has a good scream, like around 145 in the track. I mean, again, it's a short track, 231. But again, they squeeze enough into here that it's interesting and more so than the other short track we already talked about. So yeah, I think it's good, and it leads into kind of my favorite track
Mhm.
on the entire album. So it's a
Yeah.
good little run here.
Cool. Ken, your thought on Ditto Head?
Yeah, I think we're all in
Yeah.
agreement that this is a really good song. And even online when I was reading reviews and people talking about it, this song is the one that
Hmm.
I think resonates the most with people. I mean, Kerry King to me is not one of my favorite lyricists to me in my mind, but Jeff is mine. I always prefer Jeff. But I like the fact that the track kind of wanted to kind of like critiques the legal system in the States. So I kind of like that. There's something going on. They're talking about criminals escaping punishment through like loopholes. The violence becomes normalized and even glorified at times. So maybe for the 90s, this was kind of an interesting point of view. But I
Hmm.
agree, Billy. 49, he had 40, you said 48 seconds. Did you not say Billy?
Yeah,
40? I had
I said
49, but yeah, we're close.
And Jim had 50, I think.
And so we're all in the same ballpark. It's great. That part is like, oh, I just perks your ears up. A lot of good tempo changes. Like there's a heavy chug. It's a solid song. It's
yeah.
a solid song for me. You won't go wrong with it.
Well, Ken, I think we're probably all going to like the next song, as Billy already has interluded to. But take us away with song five, Divine Intervention, the title track.
Yeah, I like the song a lot. All four members contributed to the lyrics and the music. It does go hark back to Seasons in the Abyss a
Mm-hmm.
bit in my mind. I mean, I'm not saying it's totally like that, but I just got that vibe from it. It's really interesting. Like the lyrics are about violence, they're about power, the psychological psychology of killers, and I know this song is influenced by Jeffrey Dahmer, so this is where they really get into that meaty territory in the '90s. And I like the title. The title is kind of interesting. Season, we're talking about divine intervention, and it's great. Like it's just it's so awesome for me. Like the opening epic moment. It's kind of chuggy. It gets chuggy after a while. It's very
Mm-hmm.
melodic. That there's a really nice riff at 123, which I like. The
I
vocals
got
are really
125.
125. Yeah, we're always off like a second or two. The vocals are great. They're kind of shouty, so they're kind of punkish at times. There's a slight kind of punk vibe to it, but I like it. And I even like Tom's more kind of the spoken word that he sort of throws in it in that 50. So it's expanding your range a little bit. But yeah, this is a really good song.
Yeah, I had 352. I like that sort of echoey spoken word
Yes.
because it's not like, this would have been 94. So a lot of the metal bands that were coming out were changing their sound. This does
Yes.
have a slight change from the
Yeah.
last album,
Yeah.
but I found they didn't use all kinds of voice crap that they use on other, that other bands used at the time. So
Or
that little tiny
samples.
change. Yeah, yeah,
No samples. That's the one thing
yeah,
they didn't do.
exactly. Yeah. Billy, I take it. I know you like this one. That's for sure. You alluded to it already.
Yeah, I know. This is my favorite track on the. I forgot how good it was until I
Mm-hmm.
went back and listened to it, to be honest. But yeah, this is, I guess, the epic track on the album, right?
Yeah.
I mean, plenty of tempo changes, and this is what we talked about before. It kind of takes you on like a journey through different feelings of the music. But yeah, I think maybe it was Ken who said this, or like Tom can get really angry in that
Mm-hmm.
vocal delivery.
Yes.
But it works. Like it's still like catchy and like, it's not just screaming for the sake of screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like it's like my probably the favorite part of the song, and you guys kind of alluded to it already, is like around 340. It kind of slows down
Yeah.
and the tension starts to build, and that's where somebody mentioned that like 350 Tom's spoken word kicks in. But then it just like after that, it completely explodes again, right? Like there's a couple of times where Tom, like even like at the 1 minute mark, there's like a really cool haunting riff that leads into this slow melodic section. But then Tom like blows a gasket on his
Mm-hmm.
vocal like right after that again. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just a great song. I would say a very underrated song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever heard this live.
No,
I
I
could
haven't.
be wrong, but like I just can't remember a time they played this, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I find it's even got kind of the start. Like it's got that ominous vibe to it, like you guys have talked about. And I think Slayer does that build up, Billy, that you were talking about, where
Yeah.
they slow their pace down to build up the aggression more. It just, man, they do that.
Yeah, they're
It's
good
like
at that.
yeah, it's like a steamroller, and I think this song is great evidence of that. And yeah, it's just. I mean, the vocals don't cut into like 136, so like you're going quite a while without having Tom even taking part in it. So definitely pretty cool. Billy, take us into track six, Circle of Beliefs.
Yeah, I like this one. Like, I think it's a strong follow up to the last track. I have one minor complaint about it, but like this one, like explodes immediately, so
Yeah.
kind of fits well coming after the title track we just talked about. My only complaint is there's some like I don't know, like some kind of vocal effects
Yeah.
on like Tom's vocals, which
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, that doesn't quite work for me, but sounds excellent when those
Yeah.
effects come off. So again, it's a small complaint, but there's just some killer Slayer leads all over the
Mhm.
track. Paul's drumming's pretty solid here. I think he adds to it. Like unfortunately, those vocal effects kind of return at like 220 and 308, so they're on there like three times. Um, but yeah, what a vicious lead at like 3.5 minute mark. I think the chorus is pretty memorable. So yeah, I think it's really good. I'm just not a big fan of those vocal effects.
Yeah, I don't really mind them. I think he's got, besides the effects, when he's not doing the effects, it's got Tom's vocals sound like old school Tom in parts of it. And I find that 332 guitar solo is just fantastic. But yeah, the vocal effects, I don't mind them. But yeah, like we've got kind of two songs in a row kind of with them. So, anyways, it is what it is, I guess. Ken, your thoughts on Circle of Beliefs?
Yeah, I fall in the same camp as you guys. I mean, it's a really solid song. I mean, yeah, the vocal effects, putting that aside, it is what it is. I think it's just a symptom of the time where
Mm.
bands were starting to experiment. And I've heard it in other bands doing it too, where they start distorting the vocals a little bit. But Tom is an amazing singer. There's no
Yeah.
question in my mind. So, I mean, it's solid. It's solid all the way through. I love there's no elaborate opening. They just decide to get right to it. And you can't go wrong with that. You get that relentless pace that Slayer is known for.
Yeah.
And I agree, Billy too. The chorus is pretty cool. I like the circle of beliefs, like when they start rephrasing that, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Track 7, though, this is one of my favorite songs on the album,
Go for it.
SS3.
Go for it,
So
Jimmy.
I love that heavy dark intro, and at 28 seconds, that riff is just amazing. I mean, there's kind of a cool, slower vocals to start, and it's got kind of definitely a darker chug to it. And I think this also could have been off of Seasons. And all three of these songs that I think that we've talked about, this is another one where I get the feeling they could have had maybe these could have been B-sides to some of the better some of the classics that are on there. And I think this one fits right in. At 302 the song just speeds right up, and again at 314 that solo is just amazing. Ken, what's your thoughts on SS3?
It's one of the better written lyrics on the album, and it's by
Yeah.
Joe Hanneman, and this is his forte about going to talk about war.
Mhm.
So it's a homage to Nazi official Reinhard Heydrich. So I guess he's fascinated by one of the highest ranking architects in the Holocaust. So, I guess he wants to go discuss that, which is fine. I mean, he's obviously a World War II history buff.
Mhm.
So it's solid. It's solid in that regards. It's got some great riffs. The first 40 seconds
Yeah.
is off the charts. It really gets insane and frantic. There's that major tempo change at 2 minutes, and then there's a solo that follows shortly after. Yeah, it's one of those more memorable songs on the album,
Mhm.
but I like it, and I'm a fan of Jeff Hanneman. So
Yeah. No, his writing is, yeah,
yeah,
it's awesome.
he's the pulse of Slayer in my mind. I'm
So
sorry.
obviously you like his writing much better than Carrie.
Oh, I've always liked his writing.
Yeah,
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 I've never preferred Carey as a writer.
yeah.
Never ever.
Cool. Billy, your thoughts on SS3?
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not bad. Like the a little bit more mid-pace Slayer. Like for me,
Mhm.
I get a bit of South of Heaven or a little bit of the previous album in a way. But yeah, and also like speaking, I didn't like the vocal effects on the previous song. And not that this is a vocal effect, but I do like they actually do like on there's like an echo effect on the
Mhm.
vocals. So that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
cool.
you're
That
right.
I
You're
like.
right.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And this has some really good lead work. Like, so
Yeah.
this is one of the better tracks for leads for sure. Pretty good chorus. Like
Yeah.
again, I think it's a solid track. I'm not sure why it's not one of my top. Like I put it in the bottom half, but
Mm.
there's still lots to like about it for sure.
Cool. Well, Billy, head us into song 8, Serenity and Murder.
Yeah, like this one, I'm a bit of a mixed mind on, and
Hmm.
this is just a matter of personal taste, I guess. Like, so this thing is like it does a good job of being, like aggressive, but also slower pace
Hmm.
at the same time, and kind of jumps back and forth. The only thing, like in those slower parts, like I'm not a big fan of Tom's vocals. To me, it sounds a bit like I don't know the right word, like whiny a little bit. But then he totally redeems himself with the vicious vocal delivery in the aggressive parts. And I know he's trying to what we said before, like like when you go soft and then you get a more aggressive, it makes the aggressive part more impactful. But I don't know, there's just something about his vocal in
Hmm.
those slow parts that I'm not crazy about. But again, another short track, like so it's just I don't know, about 2.5 minutes or so. As always, the lead work is great here, chaotic. So yeah, like I enjoy the track. It's just those couple little vocal parts
Yeah.
that are not my favorite. But again, that's a personal taste thing. So
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I wrote that Tom's vocal sounds weird in parts, so I was kind of like, I didn't kind of rank this song, which would be probably towards the back end of the album for me
yeah,
in ranking. But yeah, everything you said, I think it's pretty okay. But yeah, there's parts in it that I think Tom's vocals. I think that natural what you brought up about the natural build up and the natural slowdown and then the natural build up done as a unit is really good, but I find just Tom doing it doesn't really get the punch that Slayer, gives you when it does that. I found it kind of weird. His voice kind of weird in parts. Ken,
yeah.
what's your thoughts on the on that song?
Well, this is almost the closest you get to a ballad here,
True,
actually,
that's a good point.
to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of a song written by or co-written by Jeff and Kerry, they sort of play off the idea of they went back to the whole point of killing, but the point here is that in character that it has sort of the lyrics have an in character narrative to it,
Hmm.
and it's like they're trying to endorse violence but exploring the whole mind of someone who feels emotionally calm when they're committing murders. It's kind of weird, but that's the whole point of Serenity and Murder. But I agree, it's solid. Some of the vocals are a mixed bag. I think Tom is trying to be eerie and haunting, and
Hmm.
may not be the it may not come across as well as it should. I don't mind it. It's a decent song, not one of my favorites, but I agree with you, Jim. It would be my the back half of if I put it into a ranking,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So Ken, take us to 213, song number 9.
Yeah, this song I kind of like a lot. Now,
Same here.
obviously, this is where we go. This is where we bring in the Jeffrey Dahmer worship. 213, the apartment that Dahmer lived in when he was arrested for committing all those murders. So it's kind of cool. Tom wrote the lyrics, so I think Tom was really obsessed with serial killers, but I think it makes sense because the 90s were a time when serial killers were kind of like the in thing.
Yeah.
I
It was,
get
yeah.
that. Like I get that. I don't mind it. It's okay. Again, I get like Seasons of the Abyss vibes at times.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. I find it. There's a spoken again. We go back to having a spoken word part. 4 minutes in, there's that creepy vocal overlay
Hmm.
at the end of the song. You know, is it as good as anything off Seasons? Probably not. But this is a pretty solid song in my mind. It would be my top 5 for me. But I
So
don't know.
Ken, is the apartment building still there? That
Yeah,
apartment's still there?
yeah, it's still there.
Really?
Yeah,
Jeez, I wonder
as
if
far
they.
as I know, the building is still there.
Oh, okay. I wonder if the apartment's
I don't think
available.
anyone rent. I don't think there's anyone renting that apartment. If you want my honest opinion, and maybe they.
Probably just like sealed up or something.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to rent
No,
an apartment.
that's pretty gross. But anyways, yeah, I agree with you. I think it leads. It's get a heavier guitar vibe to it. Um, Tom's vocals cut in about just after 2 minutes. I like that line. I need a friend. I need a companion. I
Yes,
think
yes.
that's pretty cool. Like how Tom's got some good. I kind of get a Seasons mixed with a suicidal tendencies kind of vibe with this song
Okay.
for some reason. But it's one of my top. Like I put it in my top 3 or top 4. songs on the album. I like it quite a bit, and I think the 213. I got to be honest, I didn't even realize that, so that kind of freaks me out a little bit. I like the fact it's his apartment number, so that's cool. Billy, what's your thoughts on 213?
Yeah, I think I would say solid. Like I would probably rate this 5 or 6 on the album.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to kind of rank it. Like I like the it has that slow haunting guitar musical intro. It's like really creepy, and like the other instruments don't even come in until like 45 seconds or so, and they
Mm-hmm.
do a good job of building the tension, and there's some cool drum fills here. Picks up pace at 120, only to slow down again. Tension, tension. Tom kicks in like, I don't know, like around 2 minutes. We wait a long time, but yeah, like I think it's solid. Like I definitely get seasons all the way. Like to me, this is the one of the
Yeah.
most seasons. Like I'm not sure about double dipping into the Dahmer thing. Like I don't know. You've already done that.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Like I guess people, I don't know. Like I guess I'm not a serial killer guy. So, but I can see a lot of people think that's cool. So no problem there. And this actually has like I'm not a big fan of those spoken word vocals again, like at
I don't mind them.
3:30
I
and
like
'em. I
40.
them.
like it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's okay. But this is one of the better guitar solos, I think, like around 3:40. So yeah, I'm kind of mixed on this one, kind of have it in the middle of the pack.
So Jim,
yes.
just to pick up on that last point, the building is not there.
Oh,
It
okay.
was demolished in November 1992.
Oh, so
So
it's been
50 months after Dahmer's arrest.
yeah. Okay.
So apparently it was torn down at the request of the victims' families.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not there.
Jeez. I figured, especially with the Netflix special that was on a while ago, people would want to. They probably built something else on the site. Oh, that's. I guess that's good. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty haunting thing. Could you imagine?
So
Like,
it's vacant, fenced off, grassy lot.
oh, there you go. Sort of just like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can imagine whoever owned the building or the company probably just wanted to. Like, yeah, I'm sure all the other tenants probably got the hell out of there really quick.
I would.
Yeah, I know. Jeez, that would freak me out. But anyways, okay, so that clears that up then. So yeah. So Billy, take us into song number 10, the last song, Mind Control.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a solid closer. Like, I don't think it's their best closer they ever
Mm-hmm.
did by a
No,
mile. I mean, it's like a typical Slayer by numbers track, if you will. I don't mean that in a negative way. It has like
no.
a lot of the standard Slayer features of a song. Like, I really like that slower, evil, like sounding solos, guitar solos around the 1 minute mark, and they come back at like 2 minutes and. I mean, I just find it lacks like those classic Slayer hooks
Mm-hmm.
that elevate the track to the next level. But again, I think it's a solid Slayer track.
Ken, your thoughts on Mind Control finishing the album?
Yeah, it's a solid song. I mean,
Yeah.
they're attacking like authoritarian regimes, cult leaders, anyone in an abusive relationship or institutional control. So they obviously Carrie, who wrote the song, hates that. So yeah, but I agree, Billy. It's fast, it's frantic, it's a banger of a track. I do like the guitar tone here at 116 is pretty
Mm-hmm.
solid. The solo is pretty decent. As a closing number, yeah, it's all right. It's not Rain and Blood, but
No.
it's decent. It's a decent closing number.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree with you guys with this song. I think it's chock full of some wicked riffs. It's got a great chorus. It's a bit more of a darker song, but it's I guess like as we leave Divine Intervention and we head into Slayer's sort of newer discography, it's kind of evident that they're getting farther and farther away from the original albums and that sort of thing. But I mean, that's just the way it goes. The only good thing about as we leave this and go into the next few albums is that they kind of, I mean, besides Diabolus, kind of kept true to form to some degree. At least didn't go off. I mean, they didn't go for many albums off the path, and But I mean, after having the first number, the first 5 albums, it's kind of practically impossible to keep that going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys rate this album? Like, I know probably in the discography, obviously behind the first 5, but like, what do
Like
you
out of
guys give it
10?
as? Yeah, what do you give it out of 10?
Oh, it's 7.5.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's a decent album. It's not a classic, but it's
yeah.
decent.
Billy,
You
your my rating would be about the same, I think.
Yeah, I guess I'm somewhere between 6.5 and a 7, so I'll
Yeah.
go 6.8.
Fair enough.
I do have to admit though, like when I had listened to it the week before, when we were preparing for the destruction, I had heard a song. I heard Ditto Head. So then I went back to the album. That's what got me wanting to cover it, because I thought after I listened to the album, I was like, man, you know what? I haven't listened to this in years, and there's a lot of like it's not as different as I thought it was,
Yeah.
and I know talking to you guys kind of said the same thing. What's your guys' thoughts like once you got back into it? I know you guys probably haven't listened to it. I hadn't listened to it in years. Billy,
Well, I
what's your
hadn't in
thought?
a
Yeah,
while, like you, as I was mentioning you guys before, I was like, I hadn't heard this in a while.
yeah,
So when I did, I was like, this is better than I thought.
yeah.
But but that happens, right? Like sometimes you have a bunch of albums and it gets overshadowed by the more classic ones. In this
Mm-hmm.
case, that's how it is for me.
Yeah,
You know, so I'm glad you picked it, because to me it was nice to go back and revisit it
yeah,
and read all the complaints and the nitpicks about the studio recording and everything involved. Yeah, this is great. I think
yeah.
it's great.
Billy, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I think I said it earlier. Like
Yeah.
this is definitely better than I remembered it being. So
Yeah.
yeah, like cool that we went back to cover it. Yeah, like I think it's probably the best of the Poe Seasons albums for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that as well.
Mm.
Well, that's the end of the album. Kind of a quick album too, like
Yes.
10 songs, and 2 of the songs are under 3 minutes. One's almost 2 minutes, so definitely kind of. I mean, in Slayer fashion, this album was fairly quick. So what we decided to do is come up with our top 5 Slayer songs, but had to be from this post seasons until until the last one, Repentless. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Ken, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so this was a bit harder for me because I tend to like the last 2 proper Slayer albums
Mm-hmm.
before the shitty Repentless album came out. But anyways, I'll start. So at number 5, I have Jihad from Christ Illusion,
Yes.
written by Tom and Jeff. I think the song is great. There's a lot of vitriol. The riffs are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a controversial song because the meaning is very intentional. And what I mean by that is that it's written from the perspective of a religious extremist, because this came out when 9/11 attacks happened. So I love it. I think it's great. There's a lot to like about the song for me. The closing monologue paraphrases that I really like, which they incorporated from actual words taken from 9/11. So I think that was fantastic. I thought that was kind of neat.
Cool.
It's a solid song. I just love how it ends too. It's like the song ends with him shooting Satan and then over and over saying Satan, Satan. I think it's great. We're doing a critique on the dangers of religious ideology, so I like it. I think it's a great song for me. Then I went to Bloodline. The one song on Bloodline that I really like is sorry, and God Hates Us All, is Bloodline. My apologies. I think it's a great song. And I remember the song distinctly because it was used in the Dracula 2000 soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Where Jerry Butler, who is like really young in his career, he plays Dracula in the modern era, where these treasure hunters or these big a young cast try to revive him, and they revive Dracula, and he goes about dispatching them. I thought it was great on the song. So I heard the song before I actually heard the album. And when I heard the album, I was like, this is actually pretty damn good. I like the song. I like the vampiric narrative that's in there. The video is pretty solid. So I mean, God Hates Us All is not an album I'm 100% enamored with, but
Mhm.
I think this song is great. I totally love this song. So the next, I'm going back to World Painted Blood because it's one of my favorite modern Slayer albums. Playing with Dolls to me is one of those songs that I
That's a
totally
good
love.
one.
Even though Loudwire voted this one of the worst Slayer songs ever, which I think is a bunch of crap. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But the song is a narrative from a perspective of a serial killer. Of course, lyrically, it's not new for the band, but I love this song. I love, and again, there's mention. They don't mention him by name, but it goes back to Jeffrey Dahmer because I know the case really well. Where Dahmer, one of his sick fantasies was killing people and kind of reviving them as dolls. So he wanted to. I've seen a couple documentaries where he's got a table, a drawn table of all the dead bodies sitting in the seats, like
Yes.
as if they were alive.
Yeah.
And I think playing with dolls is what it's referring to. But I love this song. Again, it's Jeff Hanneman, and I love Jeff Hanneman. I think it's great. I totally love this song. I've been playing it so much, like
Mhm.
over the last week or so. And then I have Beauty Through Order, another song from the World Painted
I can't
Blood that
believe you picked that.
I fucking love this song. It's
Yeah.
like Elizabeth Bathory. I know that she's been covered many, many times by many bands,
Yeah.
but I love it. I again Hanneman's lyrics, and I love Hanneman, so for me, it's a song that I totally dig.
Yeah.
And it's all about Bathory and how she believed that bathing in the blood of her victims would give her, I guess, beauty. She would stay young forever. Great song. I totally love this song. And then the next song I have, which I think it would be my last song, number 5, would be Unit 731 from World
Mhm.
Painted Blood.
Oh yeah.
Again, music and lyrics by Jeff Hanneman. And I like this song because I know where the story is coming from because I've actually seen a Japanese horror flick that brutally describes the whole point of the atrocities committed in World War II, where they basically in Unit 731 they experimented on Japanese soldiers. It's real fucked up. It's a real fucked up story, and I know why. And I could see because Jeff's a history buff why he would it happened in World War II. It's really like livid stuff, like vivisections without anesthesia, biological weapon testing on them, frostbite experiments,
Uh,
deliberate infections with deadly diseases. Like it's fucking nasty, but I love it. I think it's a great. I love the song. I like Slayer kind of becoming Slayer, like going back to what they do.
mhm.
But I always liked World Painted Blood. That's why
That's
I picked like 3 songs from the album.
no, that's cool. We got two the same.
Oh, cool. All right,
Yeah.
awesome.
Billy, you go ahead with your 5.
So I was surprised you guys didn't have anything from this album that we just talked about, but
I have one.
okay. Like so these are in no order, but I had Divine Intervention,
Good
which we
song.
already talked about that. And then I have I guess the title track from Repentless.
Okay.
All
That's
my
a good one.
songs are songs that I guess Slayer play. Slayer is like my probably my favorite band, and I've seen them live so many times. So all these later songs are more what I know that are constantly in the set list. So,
Right.
but yeah, Repentless is one, and I like that song. I mean, I think it's a classic. Slayer. They opened with it in like a number of tours, so that was pretty cool.
Mm.
Then I got Ditto Head. Like
Good one.
again, I think it works really well live off the album we just talked about. Then Disciple from God Hates Us All.
Good one.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's a good
it's
one.
just that infectious chorus, like, and literally the whole audience sings it back, right? Like
Mhm.
it makes it so memorable for me. And I agree with Ken. Like after this album, probably my favorite album is World Painted Blood, I would say.
Mm.
And so I kind of picked like a tie. For number 5, I picked the title track, World Painted Blood, but
Oh,
also
good.
Psychopathy Red
Oh,
Yeah.
good one too.
as sort of my two like favorites on that album. So I couldn't pick between those two. So I'm gonna go with the tie. So and Psychopathy Red's not so much a live song, but World Painted Blood they played many times.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so like I didn't have time to go back and listen to all those newer albums, but I
Mhm.
just went off of the live shows.
right.
Well, between your two lists, I only have one that I picked, like
Yeah.
Oh,
different than you
okay.
guys. Yeah, so I went with my number one was Ditto Head off the album we just talked about.
Sure.
My number two was Jihad, same as you, Ken, from Christ Illusion in 2006. I mean, yeah, that's one of my favorite Slay. I love that album.
Yeah, me
One
too.
of the best ones. I think it's the artwork, the original non-band art, or the original band artwork is the best when you got it from the first couple of pressings. So I thought that was pretty cool. Number three, Billy, I picked Disciple from God Hates Us All, 2001. That is a wicked, wicked song. Best song. I love that song on that album. I like Repentless as well, but I went with When the Stillness Comes from
Oh,
Repentless.
yeah. Okay.
So that's the only different one, because then, and Ken, I can't believe, like, my number five was Beauty Through Order from World Painted Blood.
It's a good song.
And I was like, when you said that, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe. I mean, obviously we all listen, we know the best tracks that we feel, and they're not necessarily the singles off any of these albums either.
No.
So no, that's pretty good. Nothing from Diabolus,
Mm.
obviously. It's a
Uh,
little weak.
it's the new metal stuff doesn't jive with me.
No,
Like I gave it a listen to, and I was like,
so did
no.
I.
Even Repentless, I started listening to that, and I had to turn it off. I'm like, no, not for me.
I like Repentless because I like the two videos. They were really awesome.
Yes, the videos are cool,
The
and they
one
did a
for
comic book on that. They actually did a Repentless comic book, which
oh,
I
did they?
well, yeah, they actually did it. Dark Horse Comics did a full story on Repentless,
Because I
which is
think the
kind of cool.
guy who does the killing and who the inmate there, they've got oh, he's from The Walking Dead. He was the governor, I think,
Yes,
and they probably got him in that video because the time that this came out was right when The Walking Dead was.
and also what's his face, the Mexican actor. I forget his name. The
Yeah,
Mexican actor. Oh,
he's in all the gang
yes,
movies and
I
stuff.
can't remember his name, but he's a perfect choice for that.
Oh yeah, that's where they take over the prison, kill the warden, and then part
Yes,
two is them getting out of the prison. It's so cool.
yes,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
great.
no, that's wicked. So those are our lists. So I'm like, I was kind of impressed that you guys kept writing them off. I'm like, holy cow, this is the exact same that I have for a lot of them. And I mean, there's no doubt about it. The Slayer discography definitely is not as popular, obviously, as I mean, it's like that with a lot of the bands from the big four. I mean, Anthrax, Metallica, obviously. So I mean, it is what it is. But no, I'm glad we were able to tackle Divine Intervention. And I thought the top five songs. I thought if we did 10 songs, there'd be a lot of just
No,
stuff
I
we
think
felt.
five was good, Jim.
Yeah. Because I don't think the next five after that would necessarily be the greatest picks.
I mean, I could have probably picked 10. I'm sure
Yeah,
I could have, based on the last two albums, which I like them both. But
yeah.
I think five is perfect.
And Billy's psychopathy red there. I think that's
Yeah.
a
It's a great
wicked
song.
song too. Yeah, that was a single, so that definitely warrants a good pick there for
I
sure.
even like Americon on that.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
I think
Americon.
did Hanneman he write who wrote
No,
that
that's
one?
Kerry King.
Kerry King. Yeah, okay.
I love that song. I think that's
Yeah,
so great. But there's a lot of good songs on that album,
yeah.
for sure.
Cool. Well, that's the end of the show, guys. That was kind of a quick one.
Yeah.
So holy cow, like just that's kind of, I suppose, with Slayer, it's pretty to the point, and there's not
Well,
much.
you know what you're getting, Jim. Let's put it
Yeah,
that way. It's not we can deeply analyze every song. We kind of know what we're getting, and we all seem to be on the same page with the majority of the music.
oh yeah, for sure. So Billy, you're going to be hosting next show. You got kind of an interesting show that you want to bring up. So
Yeah, kind of a band I grew up with growing up in Montreal, and I got to see them quite a bit in the scene there in Montreal. We're gonna go with Dead Brain Cells.
Good one.
So they basically have two albums. So we're gonna find a way to cover them both
Mhm.
in the album in the podcast. So their self-titled album is in 1987, and then Universe in 1989. Two very different albums, but just an amazing thrash band. I think the first one has a little more hardcore and punk influence. The
Mhm.
second one is like, I remember the band saying all they did is practice for weeks and weeks and weeks to try to pull off the incredible technicality of the songs on Universe. So, yeah, I think that'll be interesting. The band did release three new songs, I think it was last year,
Mhm.
that were a little bit different. Like, I don't know where they're going after that, but, and they are playing in May in Montreal. So,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah, we'll figure out a way to cover both the albums
Oh,
without
okay.
getting into like a 4 hour podcast.
So do you think they've got a new album? Like, do you think they're gonna
Well,
do
they
something?
talked about a new album and
They
then
did,
they
yeah.
just released those three songs and they
Yeah.
didn't say anything about those three songs will be on a new album and then there's been nothing about the new album
Mhm.
after they released those three songs.
Well, I'm sure
Interesting.
there will be at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I
And then
think they're
maybe
the
it
type
may
of
come down
band
to
that a
money.
resurgence with the
Yeah.
thrash resurgence. I mean, this is. I think people are really excited when those songs came out. I know we all talked about it, and that. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a band that I hadn't checked out in a long time, and I just bought, I think, a reissue of their first album about maybe about 12 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
You know what I like? I like the unreleased album that
yeah,
came out.
that's a good one. Yeah,
Whereas I love that song, "Don't Shoot, I'm the Messiah." I
yeah,
love
Yeah.
that song. I think I listen to that song over and over and over. It's such a great song.
great.
There's a really I know we talk about Sea of Tranquility sometimes
Hmm.
as a channel we like and we watch and uh or was it Sea of Tranquility? Oh no, it was so you know the guy who owns the record store on Sea of Tranquility?
Yeah,
Yes.
The long blonde hair guy, the older guy there.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I know that guy.
his name escapes me, but he does. I mean, because he was on there so long, he started his own podcast. And he had DBC on during the pandemic.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
And
really?
it was like, so if you go on, it's a Rock Fantasy Files is the name of his channel. He
Okay,
does the same thing he did on Hudson Valley Square. So he's
Okay.
copying. He does his thing. But he had DBC on. And it was probably like a 3 hour podcast. They
oh,
had the
nice.
band Aggression and DBC. And they just, I can't ever remember laughing this hard in my life. Like DBC told the craziest touring stories, like the shit they got into on the road. So yeah, like if anyone wants to check that out, just search Rock Fantasy File DBC and be ready to laugh. It's the funniest thing I
Oh,
ever heard.
And
oh,
Aggression's from Quebec too, correct?
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
So they're both like 80s like thrash metal. And the sense of humor on these guys is beyond belief.
that's
cool.
wicked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
wicked. Cool. Well, we'll be that'll be a wicked show to tune into. So I guess that's it, guys. We're finished for this week,
Yeah.
and I'll say good night to everybody. Good
Yep.
night, and thanks for tuning in.
Good
All
night,
right.
all.
Good night.